Hello guys, welcome to the second part of Vray Studio Lighting tutorial series created by www.renderray.com. We already finished the modelization of the studio in the first part of the tutorial. As I said in the first part of the video tutorial, we will work on the modelization of the studio, test render settings and HDRI, lighting setup, Vray physical cameras, Vray materials and final render setup to make a realistic and professional render. With RenderRay.com, all these 3D scenes are free. If you'd like to, you can download these professional 3D scenes prepared with V-Ray, Brazil, Metal Ray, Final Render, etc. Just go to RenderRay.com and download free. And nearly every day, RenderRay adds more and more free 3D scenes and tutorials to their website. To download the sample scene for this tutorial, or to watch this video tutorial with high resolution, go to www.renderray.com. It's free. Let's turn back to my tutorial. Open RenderRay Downloads Vray Studio Lighting Part 2 Start. Here in this lesson, I will show you how to set up Vray Render and HDRI for test renders. As you see, we have our studio that we have created in our previous tutorial and our old bare model with some geometrical shapes. Okay, let's get started. Open the render parameters by clicking this icon or by clicking F10. Okay, now we are at the common parameters of scanline. Before assigning Vray as a renderer, I would like to change the render output to 320 by 240. Okay, now I will go to assign render rollout. It's found at the bottom part of the common parameters. As you see, by default, it's the scanline renderer of 3D Max. To assign Vray as a renderer, simply click into this small box and choose your renderer as Vray. And there we go. And click OK. Now, Vray render is assigned. Next step is to assign a Vray material to our objects for test renders. To do that, go to the material editor by clicking this icon or click M as a shortcut. There we go. Select the first slot of our material editor and go to this standards button and click it. As you see, this new window is opened. Now find Vray material. It's usually at the bottom. And there we go. And double click it. There we go. Right now we can assign this material to our objects. By default, it's a dark gray material. In our future tutorials, I will explain the settings of advanced Vray materials. For now, I will assign this Vray material to our objects. To do that, go to the top view and select all the objects. There we go. And we will go to our material editor, drag the Vray material and drop it on our selected objects. Check Assign to Selection and click OK. Now we can press render. There we go. As you see, it's a kind of ugly because there is no GI and we are using 3D Max's default lights. Okay, let's start changing the parameters to make a better render with low settings with GI. Go to our render parameters and select renderer. First of all, under Vray image sampler, as an image sampler type, I will choose adaptive QMC because the anti-aliasing algorithm is much faster than the adaptive subdivision. To have sharp and smooth edges, I will change the anti-aliasing filter area to Michel Netrwali. Now go to Vray Undirect Illumination and turn on the Undirect Illumination. There we go. As primary bounces, I'm gonna keep Iridan's map, and for secondary bounces, I will choose Light Cache. There we go. Okay, now go to Iridan's map and open the rollout. For the moment, I will select Low as a preset to have a faster render. Okay, now with the subdivision of 30 instead of 50, then I will check Show Calculation Phase to preview the render without waiting the final image. Okay, now go to Light Cache. Under Light Cache Calculation Parameters, I will enter 450 as a subdivision to have faster render. There we go. And we'll check Show Calculation Phase. Okay. To desaturate the artifacts, I will choose Exponential as a type. And here, and there we go, it's here. Then change the dark multiplier up to 1.6. Dark multiplier controls the dark colors of our scene. To use less RAM, I would like to use smaller buckets. So I will go to System and change Render Region Division X value to 32. Next step is to assign an HDRI to create an image-based lighting. First of all, you have to deactivate the 3D Max's default lights to see the HDRI effect. To do that, go to Vray Global Switches, which is somewhere here, and under Lighting, uncheck Default Lights. Okay, now we will assign HDRI as an environment. To do that, go to the top menu and click Rendering, and under Rendering, choose Environment. As you see, for the moment there is nothing under the environment map. To assign, you need to click the environment map. Now we will search for Vray HDRI. It's usually at the bottom part. There it is. Click it. And there we go. It's assigned. Now, to have more control of what we are doing, we will open our material editor and we will drag our environment map into the second slot and click to instance. Okay, now our HDRI map is in our material editor. Click browse and double click the HDRI file that you downloaded from RenderRay. Okay, now the image of our HDRI is in our material slot, but it's a kind of dark. Let's change the multiplier into something like 3. Yeah, it's better. Okay, now choose cubic as an environment to have more accurate results. And there we go. Now, in our perspective view, zoom into our bear with a nice angle, something like this, something, yeah. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, now hit render or click this icon. There it is. Yeah, it's not bad. It will be much better in our upcoming lessons. Now I will save this scene as RenderRay downloads Vray Studio Lighting Part 2 finished. Next step, we will place the lights and explain some of light settings. So see you for our next tutorial.